Female and male, stereotypes and identities. Today we will listen to the stories of two transgender people. Transgender is when you switch to a different gender. Farah is a male to female transition, and Knox is a female to male transition. However, the transition can be anywhere on the spectrum to be considered trans. There are different gender identities. There's bigender, where you feel two genders at once, also known as gender fluid. There's demigirl, where you identify as a girl and as something else. Then there is also demi-boy, where you identify as a boy and something else. There's agender, or non-binary, where you don't identify with any genders. Then, of course, there's male and female.
Growing up knowing that in my mind and my body and stuff, and knowing that I'm a female inside, and so it was hard for me to change. If I had known where to go when I was younger, I would have done it, but I had no idea where to go or who to talk to start the hormone treatments and stuff so I could do this change.
Break free from gender stereotypes. Gentlemen, you don't have to be a man because you already are. Ladies, you don't have to clean clothes, sew, or tidy up. Let the men have a go at it. There are tons of stereotypes on both sides.
I do notice that there are a lot of gender stereotypes in the media. It's really incredibly hard. I mean, everything from, when you're a baby, the parent has to choose the blue or the pink room, I remember when I was in the group homes that the staff members would give us a clothing allowance for being in the group home, and you'd have to go clothes shopping. And I remember wanting to go shopping and saying, I'm going to buy some boxers. And my social worker said, don't let her buy boxers. She's not allowed to. She has to buy panties. And it's like, I hate that word. I don't know why. It just, I refuse to wear those. I wear men's boxer briefs or boxers, and I said, I'll go commando. I refuse to wear the, panties or go shopping in the girls department because, they actually wanted to force me to try to dress more feminine because that's what, girls are supposed to wear this and boys are supposed to wear that. And when I was a teenager, they really tried to force me into that.
Girls can't like blue. There must be something wrong with you. Trust me, there's nothing wrong with liking blue. Boys don't cry. Yeah, they do. Girls, let's let boys be emotional. There doesn't have to be men's and women's things. Boys' color is blue, and they shouldn't do ballet. Girls' color is pink, and they shouldn't do football.
People have always mistaken me for male. Like when I go to a gas station, and get my change, they're like, oh, here's your change, sir, and that's always been really comfortable for me. But then, when they see my chest, they'll kind of correct themselves and say, oh, excuse me, ma'am, sorry about that. And that's where it becomes uncomfortable, is when they, when I get corrected and get basically called he and then she or something like that. So I identify it as he, and my name is Knox now. My birth name was Kiara, so my friends know to call me he and stuff like that.
Remember that they, them, and theirs are pronouns for people who identify as non-binary.
You don't really get much of a choice growing up in the world because you're shown that women are supposed to dress and act and look a certain way, and men are supposed to dress and act and look another way. And it's hard to be, it's more accepted to be in the middle now, androgyny, that's a little more accepted, but to choose the other spectrum from what you're born with is not so accepted, and I mean, with the transgender identity and all that I'm going through, they call it the transgender identity disorder, is what I was diagnosed with as a teenager. I was in group homes and treatment facilities and mental institutions, and they actually diagnosed me that in a psychological evaluation having gender identity disorder at a young age. So I do notice that, getting back to the media part of it, that it's you're either a man or a woman, on TV and stuff like that. So, and in the real world, it's hard to kind of be in the middle.
There's this strict image that girls are supposed to like expensive jewelry and boys are supposed to like expensive vehicles. And to switch it up, people might think you're gay or lesbian. But what if that didn't happen and everyone got along?
Well, I pretty much, I think I've basically kind of stereotyped myself, honestly. Growing up, my choice, I guess it was a choice to try to look more masculine, that's what I was more comfortable with. A lot of people in school were incredibly mean to me about it. I mean, in gym class, they'd try to pants me, to see what I got there, and they'd call me a he, she, and a shim, and so it was like really cruel by, me choosing to dress in what I felt more comfortable, that people would, pick me out and just friggin' destroy me, honestly. So it was really hard. When I was younger, I used to wear like flower shirts and jeans, and that's why the kids would pick on me and stuff. And it's like I didn't really have the option to go out and get the clothes that I wanted. I had to get what my mother bought for me or what, they handed down for me. And a lot of kids in school said that they couldn't be my friends because people would say that I'm like trying to get with them, or there'd be rumors, if I'm hanging out with a girl alone or something, and they didn't want that to happen because they're not like that, or they'd automatically think that that I was gonna hit on them or something, and it's like I have a type, I'm not just gonna hit on anybody and anything, I didn't really know exactly what lesbian was. I didn't know what transgender was. I didn't know what identity disorder was, anything like that. They call it a disorder, but it's not. When I was identifying as lesbian, it was easier, but I still got backlash, that the world is not going to accept you. I mean, you could be the Queen of England and somebody's still going to have a problem with your ethics and the way you run the country, There's always going to be trolls and haters and people that are trying to change you and put something into your mind to get you to be different or do different or look different. And it's like it's just really come down to the path that I want to take and what I want to do and where I'm at and where I want to go, and where I've been has been dark and it's been good as well, and I just want to manifest destiny and work towards a better, brighter future and help other people too to understand that they have to follow their own truth and do what's important to themselves and not let other people affect them or change them negatively, stay around the people that bring you up and not drag you down, and stay good and positive inside of your own head too, try to think life's worth living so that you can get somewhere in the future that's going to be better than where you've been in the past, maybe even where you're at right now. So.
What if we took the in away and women and men were equal? Here's how you can start breaking the stereotypes. You can speak up and practice what you speak. Boys should learn home ec, and you should point out when something happens. And you can switch gender roles.